Okay, I'm gonna do some more work on this painting of Renata. I was looking at it. I wasn't happy with the color of the hair, the under color. That I think I used Venetian red, and so I decided to use a combination, make it sort of a browner color for the underpainting, and I used whenever I want a brown, sort of a brown color for hair. Instead of going with raw sienna or maybe yellow ochre and mix that with something else, I use violet and cadmium yellow. That makes a really rich brown. So today, what I have to do is cover the whole face with glaze and rub it out a little bit. I want to get some shadows in there, and I'm going to use for that, I'm going to use the Viridian Green and Alizarin Crimson for the glaze. I'll start with the hair. I can sponge out some of the areas just with a little paint thinner. You have to be careful though. Sometimes it's better to use a combination of paint thinner and linseed oil, because just a pure paint thinner, you might start eating away the underpainting that was already there, you know. But now I'm just using the paint thinner. I have to be careful though. I don't want to apply it too heavily. Then you have to decide where you want the shadows. I mean, sometimes you can visualize the light source coming from one side of her face. Let's say the left side of her face. No, let's do it from the right side of her face. The light source is coming from the right side of her face, okay? That means most of this part of the face will be in shadow. So if that's how you want to paint the painting, then you have to start laying, you know, your shadows are going to occur all the way down this side of the face. And also in the neck, you know. And there'll be a couple of highlights here and there. There'll be a little highlight here where her cheek goes, and then sometimes, and then like here, and then sometimes maybe, you know, little areas here and there might be in, it might be a highlight. But anyway, that's the idea, you know, and I'll leave it like that and just see what happens. You know, I wasn't planning on doing it like that. The other way you could do it is if the light source is directly being shined on the, you know, directly in front of her, then there won't be any shadows on this side. There'll be shadows other places. There'll always be a little shadow around here, maybe the edge of the mouth, maybe in here somewhere, you know. But I like this. Let's go with this, see what happens. See, because if you look at her photograph, see, her photograph is like that. The left side of her face is in shadow, you know, and you see, oh, there's a little highlight there, maybe one up here, just here and there, you know, maybe one right around there, you know. So I'll stick with that. We'll see what happens. Of course, for example, now if you look at here's another good example of that. When one side of the face is in shadow, this is my wall that I have some of my favorite painters on the wall. And here's a painting of Max Beckmann's wife, one of my favorite paintings. See all that shadow on the left side of her face and the neck, you know, it's really makes the painting just come alive when you do that. Also, here's another Max Beckman. He's in his robe holding a saxophone. But if you look at his face, you know, got all that shadow happening on the right side of his face. And then there's a heavy shadow under the cheekbone on the left side of his face, you know. He was a master at that, you know. Well, all right, so, all right, now I'll add some flesh tones to the, to her right side of the face. And right along the edge, you know, there'll be some shadows also. You know. Okay, so I'll start with cadmium red. Cadmium red light. These shadows are very dark. They're a little bit too dark. I'd like them to be a little bit more transparent, but might even add a little cadmium red in there just to see. Yeah, that's a nicer shadow with that little bit of that cadmium red. Gives it a little more texture or body or something, you know. Okay, now I'll put the Naples yellow in. Well, I might have to let this dry. I want to get some more, really punch up this sort of area here, under the at the cheekbone, bridge of the nose, a few other areas. I want to punch those up, and I can't really do that now because the paint is wet. When I let this dry, then when I come back, I can really put the Naples yellow in, and it'll be very powerful. It'll be a stronger color, you know. Right now it's just blending in with the paint that's underneath, you know. So maybe now what I'll just, let's see, I want to do something with the hair also, you know. See, this stuff actually has started to dry a little bit, that glaze. Now I wanted to rub out, get some highlights. It's almost started to dry already because of the thinner that was in there. So I want to punch that up a little bit with now, remix some of that violet and cadmium yellow. And put some shadows in. I want some shadows around the edge of the hair, so I'll add a little bit more of that around the edge. Still not real happy with this color. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, I gotta redo this background. I don't know what. I had some green in there, some Viridian, and some white it looks like. So maybe I'll just hit it with some white and a little bit of green. And the sweater, I don't know. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of blue to the violet and see what I get. Some cerulean blue to the violet. Of course, this is just a study, as I said. The actual painting will be, more of a full figure. It'll be more like that, showing the upper part of her body and some of her hands. This could also be a good painting. I mean, if this turns out to be a really nice painting, who knows? Maybe the other painting won't be. I can't make the other painting happen. This turns out great. We'll use this one, But she should be dressed more formally, She shouldn't be in a t-shirt. But, well, we'll see what happens. Who knows? All right, now I just got to redraw everything. Well, it's about as much as I can do for today. I have to wait till it dries. And yeah, I'm not real happy with that hair. I don't know what I'm going to do about that hair. It's always one of my problems, but we'll have to wait and see. That's it for today. Stay tuned. Well, I'm not gonna finish this painting today, but mostly because the hair is still a problem. I'm not happy with the color or the shape, so so far I'm batting 0 on the hair, but that's about par for the course. One of the shape, I want to get some of these curls in there. I got to get some of those happening. That's not really happening now, and there's something about the shape I don't like. If you look, I like more. I did this drawing. When I did this drawing, I like the shape of her hair a little bit better on that drawing, so maybe I'll try and repeat that if I can. Comes down a little. I think that's what I had in the first place, and I didn't like it for some reason. I don't know. Then it comes out a little more here, and then it comes in, and then on this side it kind of comes in more here. So first thing I have to do, I have to change that color, right? And then let it dry, and then come back and try and work in some of those curls and stuff. I could do something like that with the charcoal, but it's easier just to put the new color down, wait till it dries, come back in, and then just, if I want to show a curl, all I have to do is put a little background here, there, a little of this background in spots, and that'll produce the effect of the curls, like it is on the photograph, Like on the photograph, there's a background color here. So that brings these curls into relief here. These little touches here and there. You know, that's relatively easy to do. But I have to wait till this dries again. And but I don't know what to do about the color. You know, originally I had Venetian red. For some reason, I rejected that and went with this violet and cadmium yellow combination, but I don't like that either. I'm going to put the Venetian red back and let it dry, and then maybe go over it with some other color. I don't know. Sometimes, usually the hair is, sometimes the hair works out, sometimes it doesn't, you know. That's, I don't know about other painters, but that's one of my problems, is getting the hair right. And you have to get it right because it's, you know, it's part of the painting. So anyway, I'm going to throw in some of this Venetian red. And do I have the, of course I don't have it in frame. Thank God I remembered. I actually like this color for hair, but you know, it's not that I can't, and sometimes I'll give people red hair who don't have red hair because it makes a better painting. And as I've said, you know, 30, 40 years from now, when everybody's dead, nobody will know what the person looked like, so get away with it. But this I can't, because she's gonna, this painting is gonna be hung in the lobby of this building that's being named for this woman, and I can't really give her red hair. Well, I would like to. Well, okay, I have to wait till this dries and then do something, go over it. Maybe I'll go over it with, I don't know, but I'll go over it with something, and maybe I'll get something I like. Her hair is kind of light brown. See, if, you know what I could do? See if let me try this. Let me just go over this with some yellow ochre and see what I get. For example, if I want, if I do this. Well, that's not bad, actually. And then I could go over it with a glaze and rub it out for highlights to get some shadows. That's not a bad color. It's not red. It's more brown, you know. Yeah, that's better. Got lucky maybe. But I still have to wait till it dries and then go over it with a glaze and then rub out for some highlights, and then throw in these little touches of the background to get some curls happening, you know. That's the last thing that I can do. Yeah, that's much better. All right, now I gotta work on the face. I have to punch up some highlights in the face. I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of the cadmium red light. Not happy with the brush. Not seeing the kind of brush strokes that I really want to see on the face. I always like to see strong brush strokes. I'm not really seeing that. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it, but see, this is no good here. There should be shadow right here. Like, I may have to wait till this dries and go over it one more, yet another time with some glaze. I don't know. But, oh, I don't know. I'm not happy with this so far. Yeah, that looks good there. Maybe this, I should be doing more of this with this brush, this flat brush, and just kind of light, very gently dropping some paint in, here and there. Because this looks nice. This looks good now, and even the nose is a little bit better. Yeah, it's good actually. Yeah, a lot depends on the brush, size of the brush, and the way you're applying the strokes. You can apply a stroke this way, this way, this way, this way, a lot of different ways. And the amount of pressure that you apply to the brush has different effects too. Just one little thing like that, can be good. See, if you look at her face in the photograph, the shadow on the left side of her face and the nose starts right about here. This whole area, the side of the nose, this part of the eye, under the eye here, around here, all that's in dark, is in shadow, much darker shadow than the other. I don't have that. See, I don't have that. This whole, like from about here down, and even here, yeah. Yeah, that's better actually when I just bring it all the way down to the nostril. And then there's a bit of a highlight here. Yeah, that's a lot better. So then I just do this. Well, I have to redraw it. I like the expression. The expression is good. Yeah, I just have to go another round with this thing. Let it dry. Go over it again. Patience is a virtue, what can I tell you? Okay, stay tuned.